And you see the after photo and you think he got that way because he bulked. Or you think it's from PDs. I'm here to say he is 100% natural.
100% nat. Come on, coach. What is going on, beautiful people of the world? Okay, I think you already know by the title of this one, Mr. Greg Doucette made a video about me and I'm going to be responding to that video. So basically he just critiqued one of my videos and just like went through it. So I'm gonna see if he
ripped my ass apart
and you know, see what he said about me. So I'm just gonna get right into it here. Basically, this was his video about the #1 reason you should never bulk. So I'm gonna tag that video down below if you guys didn't see it or if you had no clue that he made this video. Without further ado, I'm gonna hop right into this and see what the man himself has to say. So let's get it.
Coach Greg in today's video is on popular Instagram and YouTube sensation Bret Mosing. He's 22 years of age, and I first heard of this guy as a number of people had made natty or not requests.
I'm sorry, I already had to stop the video. Mr. Greg Doucette, it is Bret Mosing. Okay, there's not two O's, there's only one, Bret Mosing.
I kept watching his videos and I stumbled upon this one where he in fact was promoting bulking. So in the video it says, feeling insecure about my body while bulking. And I watched the video and I'm like, this dude looks incredible. How could he feel insecure? He looks amazing. And formerly, he used to feel insecure about being too skinny.
Yeah, so Greg is referring to an Instagram basically reel that I made like probably 2 months ago now, but it was like a transformation of me being super skinny, feeling insecure, to me like being super bulked up and being like 195 pounds. But I was also very insecure, and that is very true. Like, I don't lie about that kind of shit. I don't see really a point in lying about that, but basically like I was super insecure while I was skinny, so I thought I had to quote unquote dirty bulk or eat big to get big. Anyways, I'll get into that more into the video. So basically I decided to quote unquote, you know, go enter a stupid surplus, which is so stupid to do. And then I got super overweight. Well, for me, I thought I was super overweight, so I felt super insecure. That's kind of what he's saying in terms of like that video. So
this is him at the age of 15, but he felt insecure, was disgusted by how he looked, even though he looked incredible. So most of us, we see this and we're like, you always look good, but when you have body dysmorphia, what you see in the mirror is not what you actually look like.
Yeah, so for people that didn't know me or like don't know me or like my background in general, when I went through that period of like being insecure, I actually ate whatever I wanted and it kind of created my eating disorder, and I went down this bad path and it was not fun. I don't wish that on anyone. It was binge eating and it was terrible. Basically, just to sum it up, I would eat a ridiculous amount of food from like 6 to 10 p.m. at night, and then I'd wake up in the morning, I would feel super fat. I look at myself in the mirror, body dysmorphia, and I would hate what I look like. So I would starve myself during the day and then do the same thing at night. And it was this cycle back and forth, and created this weird kind of, you know, eating kind of habit or disorder or whatever you want to call it. And that's why I opened up about it, because I don't want anyone to go through that, and you don't have to. Yeah, it was terrible.
This video is very important for young people, teenagers, people in their 20s to watch, because you need to know that this happens to way more people than you think.
So many people are actually very insecure, but they hide behind their phones nowadays because of social media, and that's why I opened up about that video. You know, obviously there's bigger creators than me, but I felt like the need to say that because maybe it would help someone along the way, and especially with all these young kids, you know, they see all these massive people on social media and they look jacked and, you know, they look really good, but you never know what they're actually going through. So there's a very big difference between looking good on the outside and feeling like shit on the inside.
Because of social media. Everyone wants to look like their favorite Gymshark model. Unrealistic standards of how good you have to look.
He literally said word for word what I just said. Like, everyone wants to look like that top person. For me, when I first started growing up, it was Gymshark as well. Like, who doesn't want to look like these guys who are, you know, absolutely absurd human beings, just lifting heavy and they're fucking shredded. Like, I wanted that, right? Who doesn't want that?
After all, this guy looks absolutely incredible. Anyone gonna debate me? 15 years old, looks as good as most people in their 20s who are working out at 15. And now that he's 22, mind-blowing. Mind-blowing how good he looks.
Thank you, Greg.
And you see the after photo and you think he got that way because he bulked. Or you think it's from PDs. I'm here to say he is 100% natural.
100% nat. Come on, coach. 100%? Not even like point like 0.00001? Like not 100.
100?
All right. That hurt. That hurt a bit, not gonna lie.
Look at him at 15. If you look like that at 15 and you work hard, train hard, chances are age 22, that look, it's not very unrealistic to achieve. And so he had numerous talks in private about, do you need to bulk? Is bulking cutting better?
See, like he says that I look super good at 15. That's where body dysmorphia is actually crazy and so many people don't understand it unless you physically work out. He says I looked pretty good at 15. I thought I looked like shit. I thought I looked so skinny. People will see you in a different light than what you see in the mirror. But that's body dysmorphia in a nutshell right there.
This is the kind of video that I want so many more people to see. So that's why I'm doing this video. So we're going to watch his video addressing my ED and why I'm never bulking again.
For everybody that gets at me right now, that says that I'm currently bulking right now, I'm lean bulking, okay? If you watch that video, there's a difference because I was dirty bulking and I was eating whatever I found in the pantry and I was eating, I don't even want to know the exact numbers, but probably 5,000 calories every single day. And for a 17-year-old teenage kid, you don't need to eat that much, okay? So even though I'm lean bulking right now, like as of right now, that doesn't mean I'm bulking, okay? Well, technically it does, but like not like that, if that makes sense. Anyways.
I was once young, and you listen and you're willing to do anything to fit in, to have the look that is desired. And so most people, they don't know any better, and they look up to larger influencers. People with a lot of muscle who say, eat big to get big.
100%.
150%.
And that's why social media is so bad for young kids these days because they see anything and they will take it to the grave, okay? Kids nowadays, like Greg literally just said, they're so easily influenced, and I was when I was younger. That's like the biggest scare with social media, and like I thought that, especially I saw all these big guys, you know, coming up and they were massive, and I'm like, I want to be like them. So I tried to do what they did, and obviously I'm a 17-year-old, 150-pound kid. They're 300 pounds. It doesn't add up, right?
And when you hear that, you try anything, do anything. You might even use PDs at a young age because you want to have that look. I caution you, do not use PDs.
That's what I've actually been seeing a lot with like people who are open about like their PED use. I love how people are like that, but because kids these days see that and they're like, oh, they're looking unreal, you know, they're getting their blood work done, they look good, they're healthy. They think that PEDs could potentially be not that bad. And they're still 17 and 18 years old. Just because people are open about it and they're still healthy, they look sick on Instagram, doesn't mean it's a healthy thing to do, okay? So that's like, I love how people are open about that. Like, you don't want to lie to someone into saying that like this physique that they built is completely natural when that's a lie. So I love when people are open about that, you know, because they need to be to disclaim that to their audience. But when you get too comfortable with your audience in that way, they kind of like use that influence too much, if that makes sense, and they will do whatever that person does because they're so genuine about opening up to them, if that makes sense. Like, it goes back and forth. So do your own research and don't take everything to heart, especially from people that you look up to. Like, take everything with a grain of salt, okay? That's what I'm trying to say.
So rather than comparing yourself to other people, just be happy and be the best that you can be. This is not an easy video to make. He has to come clean and share with you his insecurities and open up to you for your criticism. But it's an important video with a great message, and so I hope so many other people watch this so that they don't fall into the same mistakes that he made.
That's literally the reason why I made the video right there. And I hope I helped at least one person. Like, I know I did because I got some messages from you guys. So thank you for opening up to me personally. I thought it was going to be easy. Then I started talking. Then it's just... yeah.
But when taken too far, it can lead to mental disorders, body dysmorphia, and so on.
First of all, speaking of body dysmorphia, Greg, your delts are absolutely massive. I tried wearing a tank to kind of like do that, but body dysmorphia is now kicking in. I'm looking at you, I'm looking at myself in this camera. I need bigger delts.
And so just because someone looks amazing doesn't mean they feel amazing on the inside. Your body is not going to dictate how you feel. Whether you're fat, thin, tall, short, it's not how you look on the outside that counts. It's how you feel on the inside.
Not many people understand that, by the way. Literally write down what he just said, okay? What you feel on the inside does not correlate to how you look on the outside. You don't have to get 4% body fat shredded to feel good about your body. You don't have to do that.
Bulk and cut back and forth, yo-yo dieting. Periods of binging on tons of food followed by severe restriction. Not good, not healthy. Just because I have 9% body fat doesn't mean it's a healthy percent body fat for you. I'm not even natural, I'm on HRT. And I've been doing this for decades, and I have great genetics, and I'm a professional bodybuilder.
And you have great hair, and just by watching this video right now, you got some good eyes, Greg, okay? I'm not gay. But your face, you have good facial aesthetics.
I wouldn't eat during the day because I wanted to save all of my calories for at night because I knew I would binge out.
So he cut calories so severely that once he started eating, he could not stop. He could not put the fork down. That's often what happens when people intermittent fast. They starve themselves as long as they can. I'm going to skip breakfast and lunch, and yeah, I've done it. I've tried it. And then once you do start eating, maybe it's at supper time, you eat till bedtime because you can't stop. Much better to spread out your meals throughout the day.
I do agree with that point, but I do also like intermittent fasting for a couple of reasons, and that is because, for one, if you're trying to lose body fat and you do push back that first meal, I'm not saying to the end of the day and you leave all your calories, but I'm just saying, let's say instead of you eating at 10 o'clock in the morning, let's say you have your breakfast, push that breakfast or whatever you want to call it to 12 o'clock and just fast in the morning, have some black coffee, have some water, whatever. And by you getting rid of that one meal, without people even knowing, they will just eat less in that window of like 12 to 8 o'clock. Now, I went to the extreme when I'm talking about my ED and talking about me binge eating, because I would literally fast the entire day. Like, I would starve myself until 6 o'clock at night, and then my eating window was between 6 to 10. And I'm talking about an eating window. I'm talking 5,000 calories eating window, okay? So that's not healthy, but when you push back, you know, maybe your first meal or something like that, you're already getting rid of a meal and you don't even know. So that alternatively, it will just decrease your daily calorie intake, which will probably put you into a deficit rather than you eating normally and maybe being like above maintenance, if that makes sense. I'm not saying you have to do that, but me personally, I do like to intermittent fast. But yeah, not to that extreme. That's a bad thing. Bad.
Starving, binging, going back and forth, that's not healthy. But he still got this physique, despite doing it the incorrect way. He has amazing genetics and trained hard, harder than last time. So I'm sure if he could do it all again, he would have realistic goals, realistic expectations. He wouldn't bulk and cut, binge and starve.
I do actually disagree with you there, Greg. I'm sorry, for one reason, and that is because I did set goals for myself, but I just didn't have the right path or the right information starting out. So I didn't do that whole bulk and cut for my entire first 7 years of lifting. Like, I've been lifting for basically 7 years now. I'm 22. I started when I was 14, 15. So I did that when I was between 15 to 18, and then kind of carried that a bit into college, more like binge eating, but not the cut bulk thing. So I actually did do a full-on good bulk after when I did my first cut, which was me being I think 20 years old. So I bulked for a good 7 or 8 months. This was a healthy bulk. So I have done a couple proper cuts and bulks after this whole period. That was just me when I started out and had no clue what I was doing. So
take his advice and don't think that binging and bulking is the answer. Eat big to get big is not good advice. He's made cheat day videos, eating a ton of calories. You know how popular they are. So many YouTubers make this, and of course they do because they're popular. It's what you want to see.
Okay, I've made a bunch of videos about this, the cheat day kind of things, or eating whatever I want in a day. Yeah, I've made tons of those. Okay, cheat day, I'm talking 8,000 to like 9,000 calories, which is so stupid, so unhealthy. Whereas like my last cheat meal Q&A or whatever, that was maybe 3,500 calories at the end of the day. Learn from my mistakes, please, and just don't do that. Or if you do that, don't go to the extremes. Like, don't do that every single day, or like think that you get a reward for being good during the week. You know what I'm saying? Like, that just doesn't add up, and it's not healthy, and you'll go down these bad paths like I did. So.
Don't binge bulk up and then have to cut to get the weight off. It's hard on the head. Building muscle is a long, slow journey. You can't do it overnight, and force feeding and taking in extra calories, it's not gonna help. Most people not even gonna gain 10 pounds of muscle in a year. So stop thinking that you should see the scale going up a pound every week. It's not realistic.
Couldn't agree more on the last point that you said in that video, Greg, basically stating how, you know, it's a long-term game and it's actually very hard to build muscle. So don't try and think that you can build 20 pounds of muscle, like straight muscle, no fat, in a year by you dirty bulking and eating big to get big, because that won't happen, and you will go down this terrible path of being super unhealthy or not a good body fat percentage. You're gonna look in the mirror every single day and you're gonna be like, oh my god, I'm gaining too much weight. So you're gonna decrease your calories and then you're gonna go cut, bulk, and it's just not healthy. So yeah, anyways, thank you, Mr. Greg Doucette, for making that video and critiquing me and, you know, just going over those points, because that video was very hard for me to make, and I just hope that helps someone out there who is either dealing with the same thing, or maybe they see, you know, some influencer making this video on the internet and they got to do the exact same thing that he's doing. You don't have to do that, okay? So anyways, thank you, Greg, again, and thank you to everybody who clicked on this video and watched it to the end if you're watching this still. So thank you very much, and if you're new to the channel, like, sub, all that good shit, and I'll see you guys in the next video. All right, see you guys later. Mwah.